It would be hard to find a person who is neutral about the topic of guns. Some fear them for the many lives they destroy. Others cling to them as their only true protection. And then there are the criminals who celebrate the power the gun automatically gives to all who hold it.
But however we feel about it, none of us could deny that traces of gunpowder can be found on almost all the violent crimes and murders in Jamaica. Control the guns. Take control of crime. Guns, our destruction or our protection? Tonight on CS311.
Crimestop Jamaica and National Bakery, in association with TVJ and our sponsors, Guardsman, Home and Things, Careers Jamaica, Grace Kennedy, Progressive Grocers and Musson Foundation, present CS311 with Deirdre Dixon and Leroy Hall.
Guns in Jamaica do not come cheap. Yet for all our financial worries, there seems to be no shortage of them on the streets. Every day we hear of illegal guns being seized by the authorities, even as their numbers keep growing.
By now you've heard of CTOC. Few know more about the endless war against guns than this division of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We wanted to hear their take on the gun epidemic.
The types of firearms entering this country, they vary. We have seen rifles, shotguns, handguns, machine guns. The damage that these weapons can cause is extremely serious. One bullet can kill more than one person. And these weapons are high caliber weapons, high quality weapons that we are seizing off our streets. The trade in illicit firearms and ammunition does impact other organized criminal activities. They provide source of funding through the illicit sales, protecting their illicit activities, and in general, they use the weapons in any way they see as best as possible to exert undue influence on people and communities. Jamaica having so many unmanned ports, the challenge that we face is that persons are able to come in the island with these illicit weapons and in and out with drugs and other contraband. It poses a challenge to us. However, we as law enforcement have been making all the effort in collaboration with our stakeholders, our trusted partners, nationally and internationally, to stem the flow of these weapons. Our intelligence does suggest that Haiti still remains a country which has the impact on the trade, albeit there are several other countries within Central and Southern Americas which are now involved in the illicit trade as well. From the seizures of firearms and ammunition, we have seen markings which suggest that these weapons and ammunition, for the most part, a significant portion, could have originated in the United States of America. There are other actors as well that make imitation weaponry with the logos and the markings of legitimate firearm manufacturers. The civilians arming themselves through the regulated means, they most likely are doing this out of the fear of crime. But I do believe that persons are in fear from time to time. That may act as sufficient motivation for them to try and obtain a licensed weapon. There are persons who engage in the illicit trade and they do so out of greed. This greed will no doubt affect the fabric of our beloved country, Jamaica. All of this is only for your own benefit, but persons must remember Jamaica is here for all of us. I would encourage all well-thinking Jamaicans, in the interest of saving our country, if they have something to report with respect to us taking some of these firearms off the streets, please feel free to call 119, the nearest police station, the Counter-Terrorism Organized Crime Branch, and Crimestop.
When citizens feel unprotected, more of us arm ourselves to feel safer. But buying a gun could be the very act that makes us a target. The victim of the featured crime you are about to see was approached for his handgun and brutally attacked when he refused.
Monday afternoon, January 2nd, 2017, Epworth District, St. Anne. 81-year-old Colin Carrodus, JP, was enjoying a game of dominoes with some friends. Mrs. Carrodus came to make sure that the guests were all okay. She watched the game for a short while and then headed back to her kitchen.
Open the door, man. Open the door. Where you going? Where you going, woman?
I'm very cold.
Give me the gun. Give me the... No, listen, say. No, you say that.
One gunman found the .38 revolver with 6 rounds and proceeded to gunbutt Mrs. Carrodus. Colin Carrodus, JP, had been shot twice in the chest, and he died while the group of murderers escaped on foot.
Now, was the gun the main motive for this senseless crime? Those left behind are still wondering.
Colin Carrodus was my father, and being the youngest of all the siblings and the only one that lived here, you know, I had an extremely good relationship with him. I was a tomboy at one point, climbing buildings with him because he was in construction and all of those kind of things. He taught me to do almost everything. In November, they robbed the house. He said, boy, they broke into the house, but I was not there. No, luckily I wasn't there. And they ordered a tenant to go into that other house to come to me. They wanted the chest and the gun, and asking for the big guy. My father was the man to talk about every subject matter. He was like an encyclopedia. He was the strength of the family. This gentleman was a selfless man. He would take the last pound of sugar and give it out to the community. He said, sugar will come. He believed that as a community, we have to live together. And I think he was well loved by persons. He was well respected. He did a lot in terms of civic duties. He was part of many organizations. For 14 years, he was the president of the Great Pond Citizens Association. He held those meetings on his veranda. I mean, even in airport, he built a bus shed right out at the corner. When I asked him, what is that bus shed for? He said, elevate your mind. It's not a bus shed. It's a shelter from life's adversity. For those farmers and those people when rain falling, where they must go. That is why he built it, and it's still standing out there. That is to show the kind of man he was.
Crimestop is offering a total of $100,000 for information leading to the arrest and charge of the criminals. Are we going to allow them to escape unpunished?
Making that call is safe. Making that call is easy. It's as simple as 311. If you know anything, that telephone call could save another victim's life. Where there's money to be made, there's business to be done, and the profitable gun trade is no exception.
If you do not operate in the world of guns, here are some facts that may surprise you.
Did you know? Brought to you by Carreras Jamaica. Did you know? Anyone planning to buy a legal or illegal gun has to have money in their pocket. A new handgun or shotgun can be bought in Jamaica from $250,000 to $650,000 and up. Illegal guns of every size and type enter the Jamaican market, 70% of them from the United States. For the man with criminal intentions but limited funds, the solution is rent a gun. Depending on the purpose, he may pay as much as $70,000 per night, complete his mission and return the firearm in the morning. But guns can be every bit as profitable to those who hand them in. Under the Rewards for Guns campaign, the government and Crimestop are offering $100,000 for semi-automatic pistols and shotguns, $150,000 for rifles and submachine guns, negotiated rewards for ammunition and explosives, and $75,000 for revolvers. From January to August 2018, 453 illegal firearms were seized. 311 pistols, 55 revolvers, 32 rifles and 11 submachine guns. Just a tiny fraction of the firepower that's out there. Jamaica is not at war. Stop the guns before they stop us.
Let's pause a moment to take a look at our list of missing people. Please pay attention. You may have seen one of them.
Missing, brought to you by Progressive Grocers. 19-year-old Nicholas Rose, a dancer of Phase 1 Seaview Gardens, Kingston 11, has been missing since October 2017. He is of dark complexion and slim build and has a tattoo on his right arm and chest. His mode of dress at the time he went missing is unknown. 74-year-old Lloyd Hunt of Benning Road, Brownstown in St. Anne, has been missing since Sunday, October 29, 2017. He is of brown complexion, medium build, and is about 160 centimeters or 5 feet 3 inches tall. Mr. Hunt was last seen at about 7 p.m. in the community, dressed in a blue shirt, brown pants, and a pair of black and white shoes. 27-year-old Nagosh McIntosh of Wildman Street, Kingston, has been missing since Friday, April 8, 2016. He is of brown complexion, medium build, and 175 centimeters or 5 feet 9 inches tall. Mr. McIntosh was last seen at home at 8:30 a.m., wearing a grey and white striped merino, denim shorts, and blue and white sneakers. An Ananda alert had been activated for then 15-year-old Natasha Williams of Longville Park, Clarendon, who has been missing since Sunday, March 13, 2016. She is of dark complexion, slim build, and 152 centimeters or 5 feet tall. Reports are that Natasha left home at 11 a.m. to attend classes, wearing a light brown skirt suit and a pair of black slippers. She's not been heard from since. 42-year-old Ricardo McCourty, tractor operator of Hampton Avenue, Hampton Green, St. Catherine, has been missing since Tuesday, March 22, 2016. He is of dark complexion, slim build, and is about 170 centimeters or 5 feet 7 inches tall. Mr. McCourty was last seen at about 11:30 p.m. on Old Market Street, Spanish Town, St. Catherine.
More on guns in a moment, but first, watch that scam.
Tavern, Golden Spring, Templar. Yeah, man. Yako. Tavern, Golden Spring. Golden Spring, Tavern. Golden Spring, Tavern.
Tavern?
Yeah, man, come in a sweet. Yeah, man, you're good, man.
Oh, nice, nice. Oh. I've been waiting out here so long.
You're good, man.
Oh,
yeah, man. That good, man. Saying.
You're so happy.
Nice, now, dear.
Oh my gosh. Oh, please.
Give me everything where you got.
Please don't kill me.
Say everything where you got.
Please.
Phone, money, everything.
Yes, of course you can have it. Please don't kill me. I have 2 children. Please.
You joke,
please.
Please. You're lucky. Make you have none. That could have been your sister or your mother, your wife, even your daughter. It could have been you. Don't be in too much of a hurry to give away your life. Take registered route taxis or the JUTC. They may take time, but they do arrive. Not all robot drivers are bad, but how will you know the difference? Be smart. Don't be scammed.
Every day that a criminal remains at large is another opportunity to steal and rape and kill. Don't wait. If you know these wanted men and where they are, do something today.
Damian Francis, otherwise called Speck, 37 years old, of Mansfield District, Bath, St. Thomas, is wanted in connection to the murder of Lenroy Lang, otherwise called Jabi, committed on Thursday, January 1, 2015, at Ginger Hall, Bath District, St. Thomas. Shamar O'Connor, otherwise called Zoom, of Cotton Peace District, Uwerton, St. Catherine, is wanted in connection to a gun-related wounding with intent charge. The incident took place at Palm Cross, Treadway, St. Catherine, on Friday, February 2nd, 2018 at about 10:45 p.m. Alvin Messam, a 35-year-old construction worker of McGregor Lane, Spanish Town, St. Catherine, is wanted in connection to a murder committed on Saturday, April 28 at about 9 p.m. on Whitewater Boulevard, Spanish Town. Jermaine Graham, otherwise called Dada or Sashi, of Windsor Road, Spanish Town, St. Catherine, is wanted in connection to a murder committed on Windsor Road on Thursday, August 30th, 2018 at about 7:30 p.m.
The number to call is 311. Remember, your identity is safe. No star 69, no caller ID.
The Rewards for Guns campaign is a partnership between the Ministry of National Security and Crimestop to decrease the number of firearms that are out there on our streets. Renee Steele from the Ministry tells us how it works.
Rewards for Guns is a program made possible through the Ministry of National Security's continued partnership with Crimestop, through which persons are able to provide information on the location of illegal guns, or if they are desirous of handing over an illegal gun that they may have in their possession. The program is a confidential one. This means that your identity remains anonymous or unknown throughout the entire process. Individuals also have an opportunity of being rewarded based on the outcome of each report that is made. The processes involved in the Reward for Guns program are very simple and, as mentioned, confidential. There are two ways in which information can be given anonymously to Crimestop. This involves either calling Crimestop's toll-free number at 311 or giving information by way of the Crimestop website at www.crimestopjamaica.com. Let's say you decide to call with information. Once you do, you're given a code number. This becomes the file number. The information is then recorded and handed over to the relevant police authorities to act upon. If you are interested in receiving a reward, you may call back giving your code number to check on the outcome of the information that you provided before. If this information leads to an arrest and/or recovery of stolen or illegal property, in this case an illegal firearm, you are then entitled to receive a reward. The reward is paid in cash, and once a request is made for this reward, arrangements as per instructions are made to have the money left at a safe place. When providing information on illegal firearms, there are some important things that you need to consider. Let us say you have seen the weapon. Are you able to describe it? Is it a handgun, a rifle, or a shotgun? Is it in the person's possession? Do you know where the gun can be found? Can you give details on the person's location? When is the best time to find them there? Is there more than one firearm? Does the suspect carry the weapon at all times? And finally, when is the best time to find the weapon at the location? The partnership between the Ministry of National Security and Crimestop has been a tried, tested, and proven one. Throughout its entire lifespan, there has never been a breach of protocol, and together we have reaped great success. This has been evident through approximately 435 illegal firearms recovered, over 200 arrests made for the possession of illegal firearms, and over $11 million paid out in rewards for information provided on firearms and ammunition. The long-standing solution involves several responses by various agencies. From the Ministry's perspective, we continue to prioritize the implementation of a robust policy and legislative framework that seeks to regulate and control the circulation and use of firearms and ammunition. The weapon of choice in the majority of our murders is the gun, and more specifically, illegal guns. We have data that shows that one single gun, has been responsible for at least 7 murders. So, we should never underestimate the value of capturing these illegal guns, no matter how few. We are hopeful in this program for several reasons. One, as mentioned before, Crimestop is a tried, tested, and proven medium through which persons can feel safe and secure in providing any information that they may have on illegal guns and ammunition. In short, the program works. 2, we have confidence in our security forces to effectively and thoroughly conduct investigations based on the information that you provide to recover these illegal weapons and bring the responsible parties to face their consequences. And finally, we have confidence in our people, our communities, to share information, because by removing these illegal guns, it contributes to increased safety and security for an improved quality of life for us as individuals, communities, and the country.
Even in a climate where the gun is king, there are tips we can follow to help protect ourselves. Let's take a look.
Safety tips, sponsored by Guardsman.
The illegal gun is the tool of choice of the gangs that operate in Jamaica. They are used for many purposes. The most dominant and common one is intimidation. The intimidation of people to do what the gangs want them to do out of fear for their lives. It's also used to protect the criminal activity of the gangs, whether it be drugs they're protecting, the lot of scammers they're protecting, or stolen goods that they're protecting. The gun is the choice. The unfortunate thing with the illegal gun is that it's used by the gang for their criminal activity. But when the criminal activity is down, they turn it on the very people of the community, the yous, the me's, and everybody else. We as a people have a gun culture, and we need to break it, especially that of the illegal gun. We need to tell what we know. The very same channel that is used to bring goods in and out of Jamaica, drugs in and out of Jamaica, and all the illegal activities that take place, be it at our official ports of entry, be it at our unofficial ports of entry, the opportunities to bring guns into this country certainly is one in high demand. We need to say what we know. We need to point out every illegal gun that we are aware of, because today it may be used in illegal activities, tomorrow it could be turned on us. We need to say what we know. We need to call Crimestop, give them the information on what we know about illegal guns in this country.
Another day, another crime, and sometimes it feels like nothing can make a difference. But every big change must begin with small actions, and that change could begin with you.
We're dreaming of a country where we don't need to live behind our guns. What about you?
I'm Leroy Hall.
And I'm Deidre Dixon. See you next week.